Hello and welcome to a review of Hawkeye. We're reviewing today the first 3 episodes. I'm going to do an episode every week, every Wednesday. You can expect a review of the every episode leading up to the finale. But since since I thought there'd be a lot more to talk about if I combined the first 3 episodes, so today we're going to review the first 3 episodes of Hawkeye. So, what do I think of it so far? Well, I mean, to give you a little bit of a backstory on how I feel about Hawkeye, I love Marvel. I love Marvel. I'm a huge Marvel nerd. But with Hawkeye, I never really got into Hawkeye. Everyone says he's a boring Avenger, and it kind of, yeah, he is. He's very much a boring Avenger. But the comic book that they were basing the show off of really had me interested, because I do like that comic. I'll put it up here. I do like that comic a lot. It's a really good comic. So I was like, they're adding Kate Bishop, they're doing this storyline and this comic. I wonder how they're going to do it. So, first off, with the first 3 episodes, I like it a lot. I think it's a really cool show so far. Definitely not my favorite of the Disney Plus shows. I think that has to still go to Loki or WandaVision, but I think it's a pretty serviceable show for now. I think there's 7 episodes, 7 or 8 episodes. Let me know down below. But so far, 3 episodes in, it's not a bad show so far. So let's go down the episodes. Episode 1. I really liked episode 1. I liked the introduction of Kate Bishop a lot. I like where we pick up with Hawkeye after the events of Endgame. How he's spending more time with his family, and he's really abandoning the Ronin character. But even though the Ronin stuff is really haunting his past, I really like that. It is a little confusing because the show, it says present day, which would be in 2024 after Endgame. But I think it was the Hawkeye writer or director or somebody said it takes place in like 2026. So I'm like, okay. So I don't know if that's factual or if that's something we're gonna get a time jump later on in the show. But right now it doesn't seem like it's 2026. So I think I don't know. So I'm just going off of what the show gives me. Present day, 2024. However long after Endgame. I liked how we pick up with Hawkeye's family. He's spending more time with his family, trying to make up for those 5 years lost with his family. And it's just, I like that. That's a really cool angle to Hawkeye, because if you go back to Age of Ultron, he was very much a family man. But after he lost his family in Endgame, that's where he became Ronin. And now that he has his family back, he's going to spend time with them. I like that. I like the little flashback in the first episode too, back to the first Avengers movie, where you see the Hawkeye scene of him doing this in slow motion, but you see it from Kate Bishop's angle all the way down in her mansion, and that's what inspired her to be Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye. So I like that. That was really cool. That you saw a different perspective on a very iconic scene in Avengers, and it lines up perfectly. You put that scene, you put this scene together, and it lines up perfectly. So good job on you, Marvel, for doing that. So it was really cool to see flashback back to 2012 and seeing how Kate Bishop grew up and being inspired by Hawkeye because of that one scene in the first Avengers movie. So that was really cool. I liked seeing that a lot. Outside of that, I think Haley Steinfeld did a good job, is doing a good job in this show. I think she definitely embodies the character of Kate Bishop. Now, I want to say that was a fan casting. I want to say a lot of fans wanted Marvel to cast her as Kate Bishop. If not, then, phew, Marvel, you know how to cast. But if that was a fan casting, good on you fans for getting her, because she's very good as Kate Bishop. She looks the part, she acts the part. And come on, Haley Steinfeld's just awesome in anything. Bumblebee to this, she's fucking awesome. Love you, Haley Steinfeld. But yeah, I think she's doing a good job with Kate Bishop. I like the whole aspect of her at the auction and how she puts on the Ronin suit, not knowing what the Ronin legacy is. And I like how they're still not acknowledging that Hawkeye is Ronin, that everybody still is like, who is this Ronin character, and blah blah blah. I like that, how they're still keeping the Ronin thing a mystery. But like I said, not much to say really with the first episode. Just it was a really good introduction to the Hawkeye story that we're following. It was a very good introduction to Kate Bishop, back to the world of Hawkeye, back into this post Endgame world, and I think it was a really good introduction to the Disney Plus show. With episode 2, kind of the same thing. Not much to talk about in that episode. I liked the dynamic relationship between Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. I think it bounces off very well. The dog was very cute. Pizza Dog, that they just named him in the new episode, Pizza Dog. He's very cute. I like him. He's a really cool addition. say with episode 2, there's not much to say. I mean, there were some few key elements, like, you know, Clint wanting to come back home with his family and really not wanting to be a part of this world anymore, but he knows he has to. So with episode 2, there's not really a lot to talk about. Pretty good episode, just not a lot to talk about. So moving on from that to episode 3. I liked episode 3 a lot. It was a really good, like, action-y episode, which is good. I like that. It kept me entertained. But there's two things in particular I want to talk about. I want to talk about this. That has to be Kingpin. It has to be. I'm sorry. That looks just like him. It even sounds like Vincent D'Onofrio's laugh. Like, it just does. So, if that's not Kingpin, then I don't know. I mean, there's been reports for months now, it seems like, that Kingpin's going to show up in episode 6. We'll see. You'll know for a fact if he's in this episode, because I'll come on camera and be like, he's fucking back! But if this is not him, I don't know. I mean, that sounds just like him, and that looks just like him. So if that's not Kingpin, then holy shit. But then they even made a reference later in the episode when he's talking to Kate, and he's like, you don't want to meet the higher up. The higher up is bad news. Who's higher up? That has to be Kingpin. So I'm money betting that it's Kingpin. It has to be Kingpin. Unless it's just some unknown Marvel villain that we're not aware of, but it has to be Kingpin. Like, come on. So if that's not Kingpin, then I don't know. But besides that, I want to talk about this. This is a really cool action scene right here. I love this little action scene right there. The little, how it's in one take and it's going in circles. And I love that. I'm a sucker for one takes. I'm a sucker for it. I love it. So seeing this cool action scene right here, and it's just taking place all in the back of this car, going in circles to this cool action scene, that was really cool. I like that a lot. And then the other action scene was the one with Hawkeye fighting the deaf girl. I can't remember her name right now. But Hawkeye fighting her, and she knocks out his hearing aid. And then for like the good 45 minutes of the show, he's just deaf. He can't hear nothing. Can't hear his kid talk about how he wants him to come home. He can't hear all the other stuff going on in the background. It's just he kind of feels isolated from society. So that's really cool. That was a really touching thing for Hawkeye, because he does miss his family. He does want to go back home, but he can't hear them. So he kind of has to just act his way through it. It was really heartbreaking. But yeah, outside of those two action scenes and the Kingpin thing, it was a pretty good episode. I thought it was a really good episode. Like I said, nothing huge happened, nothing holy shit. It was a really fun episode. Really fun action sequences, a really lot of action going on. The story progressively moving forward. Like I said, if that's not Kingpin, I don't know who the fuck that's going to be. But I don't know. I like the show so far. I mean, I'm not going to give it an official rating so far because the show's not over. But I like it so far. So far, it's a pretty solid show. Again, I still like other Disney Plus shows better than this. But again, for all I know, this might wrap up and this might be my favorite Disney Plus show. But for right now, 3 episodes deep, it's a pretty good show so far, actually. So if you're a Marvel fan, or if you're just a Christmas fan, or you just want to check out a really fun Marvel show, I think this is a pretty good show, actually. I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking so far, nothing blow your socks off, nothing exciting or holy shit like WandaVision or Loki's happening right now, but there's enough in there to where if you care about the MCU and you care about Hawkeye and you want to learn more about this Kate Bishop character because she might be in the Young Avengers later, I think this would be a really good show for you to check out. So let me know what you think of Hawkeye down below. You like it? You love it so far? Let me know. Drop your comments down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace!